every systematic turn to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave black folk around the world, and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.
Peace, love, and reparations. And when I say that, I mean real reparations. We ain't talking about this stuff these people talking about. But what's up, family? I want y'all to I need y'all to please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and that share button. We're gonna get into it today. I want to give a shout out to Selena for that Cash App. I appreciate you, sister. Love is love. Shout out to Blake Rickerson too, man, because he is from Boston, and listen, we need some people out there to stay on these people's behinds because they came to finesse. And I'm going to break this down, and I'm going to show y'all how this was already a play. Because again, these people don't do nothing at the spur of the moment. A lot of this stuff is planned out. So they're going to even say that they was in the talks about this years ago. And we have to understand that the California Reparations Task Force was created in 2020. So listen up, family, and listen to the words, because everything is about the language and how they try to word stuff and just slip stuff in. They're going to try to slip stuff in when they talk. And if you're not paying attention, they will finesse you out your stuff or out our stuff. So, all right, here we go.
The city of Boston is taking an historic step, establishing a new task force on reparations to determine how the city can acknowledge its role and wrongdoing in the slave trade and to repair the inequities that exist today for descendants of slavery and all Black and brown Bostonians.
Whoa. See how she slipped that in there? She's talked about slavery and inequities from slavery, and then slipped in black and brown. Like, where the brown people come from in all of that equation? Because we were the only ones slaved. We were the only ones, that had the economic inequities happen. So black and brown, listen, we ain't even a whole 30 seconds in, and they done already finessed this shit.
Wrongdoing in the slave trade and to repair the inequities that exist today for descendants of slavery and all Black and brown Bostonians.
See, descendants of slavery and all Black and brown Bostonians. Watch this. Descendants of slavery and all Black and brown Bostonians. When they say Black and brown, they talking about them Black immigrants. Descendants of slaves, Black and brown. Come on, family. They trying to add everybody to our stuff because at the end of it, we will get the crumbs.
State leaders abolished slavery in 1783, but the region continued to benefit from the labor of enslaved people.
So that legacy. So if they continue to benefit off the labor of enslaved people, why are we giving it to brown people? If this happened to the descendants of the slaves, why are Black and brown people coming in? Because again, now you see the mayor right here who is Miss Wu or whatever her name is, and that's where it comes from. And the NAACP as well. But see, this is a play. Now watch, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because I don't even feel like listening to her and her goofy stuff. All she's gonna talk about is why they owe.
Julia Mejia, one of the leaders of the effort to create a reparations commission. Mayor Wu laid out the two-part function of the commission. The first is to document Boston's role in the slave trade and its continuing impact on our communities. And second, to assess what actions the city has taken and can take in the future.
Yo, I swear that these Black people don't have no backbone. They have no backbone whatsoever, and they don't stand on absolutely nothing but sucking up to white people and every other person that ain't Black.
Consular Mejia, let's begin with your efforts to create the task force. What were some of the barriers, and explain the disagreement over inclusion?
Yeah.
Listen, we done got that. We done came back to inclusion. We done came all the way back to inclusion. Listen, she said, in the barriers and the disagreements of inclusion, because people are arguing over it. Mind you, the reparations task force, this is a video from 3 months ago. So the reparations task force in California was going through that same thing. So now they're going to it because, Black people right now, we are off the lineage thing. Everything has to be lineage based and specific for us, right? So here we go. They done started off this with the whole argument over inclusion.
So I would first have to just, start off by one of the biggest accomplishments was really to get people on the same page in terms of what this moment was all about. And I just want to acknowledge that it was under the leadership of Tanisha Sullivan, who is the current president of the NAACP, that brought it to our attention a few years ago. And
what were some of the concerns, though, when it was first brought up, and how did you reach consensus?
Yeah, so we're still in that process, right, of reaching consensus. It was really about really stepping to the side and, as a legislator, really creating space for community to define for themselves what this moment was all about. So we started off with a hearing, and based on that hearing, we were able to identify that the city of Boston was interested in moving towards creating a formal structure to really study reparations. And as a result of that worked with Dr. Kamara and Yvette Modestine to draft up the ordinance, which is now the...
And they done finessed this is some HR 40 stuff. This is some whole HR 40. This is HR 40 on the state level. Yo, these Black people are crazy.
The commission, the task force.
It's an historic step for sure. The results of a Pew study on reparations released in November found that of those who support it, they believe reparations should be delivered in several ways, including the form of educational scholarships and
family. They are full of shit. Excuse me if you don't like foul language, but I'm pretty sure that you're listening to rap music or you watch movies in general. But whatever. Yo, you are not going to tell me that the people did a survey and scholarships were at the top over business and cash payment money. Yo, I can't do it with these Black people, bro. I can't do it with these coons, man. I see sometimes why Marcel be getting so frustrated like that. Yo, because they really make you want to go upside their head, man. Yo, that's why I said that same thing about the dude, Justin, whatever his name is, Justin from, I think he's the little counselor dude from Memphis or whatever with the little fro. I was saying the same thing when he was saying, yo, they said the most concern with them is safety. Like, come on, we start talking about reparations and everything is a higher concern than cash payments. You're full of shit. You telling me all these Black people, because the majority of us are poor, you telling me all these Black people who get excited like a mug over these income tax checks are sitting here saying that they don't want a check that would be almost 300 times more than that shit, 3,000 times more than that. You telling me that they gonna fucking say no to that and yes to scholarships? Who said yes to scholarship? And I want to know the age. I want to know the age range of the people that you asked. You didn't ask anybody that's over 30 whether they want cash payments or a fucking scholarship. You bullshitting me. Man, these people crazy.
and cash payments. Joe, how do you believe the commission can ultimately help Black Bostonians? And I know you're just starting out in this role.
Well, first and foremost, Karen, thank you for having me here this morning. And I certainly want to say,
Son definitely don't got no Twitter page either. I'll look him up.
thank you to Councilor Mejia and Boston City Councilor Mayor Wu for putting together the reparations task force. You're absolutely correct. We have yet to meet. The announcement was just a few days ago. We have yet to meet, but certainly have been thinking about this, have studied the ordinance, have looked at what's been transpiring nationally. In fact, there's a global reparations commission. So we will be informed, and as the counselor stated, and as the phases of our inquiry, we'll first want to gather the information. So we'll start with a process of engaging through an RFP process, someone to help us with the history. And then secondly, then we'll talk about, and I think there are 4 questions that need to be answered, not all of them by us. The question is, what is the debt?
Mm-hmm.
Who is entitled to any reparations, or who are the debtors? Thirdly, who will pay, and whatever the form of the pay will be in, and the last will be, when will it be paid?
And
now,
you talked about that at the announcement.
Yes.
That's the question though that a lot of people are going to have is, where will the money to right the wrongs come from?
Well, that's to be determined. I mean,
They always want, that's always to be determined when it comes to us. When it comes to anything else or anyone else, that money is available. That money is available. I guarantee you, if we let them finesse this shit into some black and brown shit, that money gonna come like that. I bet you that money come like that. I don't know if you can hear the snap. But yo, that money gonna come fast. See, that's the whole thing of them pushing these task force everywhere. And you're gonna hear they're gonna name a couple other spots like Rhode Island, Atlanta, and all this other stuff. Yo, I'm telling you, these people crazy, family. These people are crazy.
I mean, I think that there's an organization called the National African American Reparation Commission, and they have a 10-point plan. And I was reading that in advance of today, just so I can come here somewhat knowledgeable.
Yes.
And they have 10 points. We don't know what form reparations will take. That's part of what we'll do through our research, and with the other 9 great minds who are serving with me on the commission. There are 10 members on the commission. And in concert with the community, we'll be having listening sessions. We'll be conferring with Councilor Mejia and her colleagues. So we will be both very transparent. We will definitely be inclusive, and what I call the 21st century word, we intend to be intentional.
Okay, now, Councilor Mejia, you're well aware that several other communities are heading down this same path. Evanston, Illinois became the first U.S. city to create a reparations plan for its Black residents. California, the first state to establish a reparations task force, and they're close to their deadline for recommendations. Even closer to home, Providence, Rhode Island officials have approved $10 million for a city reparations program, and that city is using federal COVID.
First of all, we broke down Providence joint. That shit was for everybody. See, that's why the money got out there. That's why the money got out there, because Providence's stuff was for everybody, family. Watch this. Providence was for everybody. Give me 1 second, family. No, I'm not going to do that to y'all.
COVID response funds and making investments in small businesses and programs. So while you've just begun the task force.
Now watch, family. Let me go back, because I want to say something about that real quick. I just thought about something. 2 seconds. Now, I did a video on this months ago. They done already did the $10 million. My thing is this, because they always talk about these programs and these small businesses and everything. I want to know what Black businesses got that money and how much did they get? Because, see, they like to say all of that shit. Oh, the Black businesses, and they make it sound good, and it sound good on the surface. But let's dig into that. Let's see where this 10 million actually went when it comes down to foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves. Let's see where that $10 million really went. See, this is the thing. Nobody ever presses anybody on those type of issues. So this is what we're going to try to figure out, family. We're going to have some homework, and we're going to try to figure out where this money went and what businesses, Black businesses, actually went to it. Because some of these businesses can be owned by white people that just have a little percentage of a Black person that own it, right? You can gave this nigga 5%. Now you got a little minority business, and boom, you getting the funding. Yo, this is the type of games they be playing. But I just wanted to jump back on that because I was actually thinking about that earlier today at work with that whole small business thing. I was listening to I don't know if it was Professor Black Truth or Jason Black, but it was one of them. But I started saying, yo, yeah, because they always talking about these programs and stuff, and you know, the business goes to Black businesses and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, but for real, like Black businesses be failing. Like, where's all this bread really going to? Because I know when y'all talked about the farmer money, the farmers ain't really get the bread. You see what I'm saying? So what's really going on? We got to dig into that.
All businesses and programs. So while you've just begun the task force, have you looked at what others have accomplished?
Yeah, we have. And I think I wanted to just piggyback on some of the points that Joe made in regards to, and to answer. I think this is an opportunity for us to look at our educational institutions, our hospitals, in terms of who is going to support the financial payouts, if you will. It's going to have to, the city's going to have to look at all different pots of dollars. And when you think about reparations, it's not just about financial.
See?
It's also about repairing the harm.
They always want to get away from the financial. It's not only about financial. It's not, yo, nigga, but yes, it is. Yes, it is. Majority of that shit is all financial, nigga. We don't care about nothing of the other reparation besides the financial part, because that's what's going to take us out of our condition. And this is why they're trying to finesse and put all these Black people in front of it to say no cash reparations, because they know cash is going to fix the fucking problem. If it didn't, they would just give it up so we can just give them their bread back, spending it on them. Family, you can't see. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. That shit is so easy to see of why they keep trying to finesse. You got cash reparations at the bottom. Do you really think if we went around to every Black person and asked, and we gave them that same fucking list, do you truly believe that fucking scholarships would be on the top? Come on, man. Come on, they do not want cash reparations because they know cash will fix 90% of the problems in our community. They know it. They know it, bro. That's why we devastated from the economic deprivation. My bad, this should be pissing
There's
me
also
off.
social and emotional impact that we need to look at. Things, forms of apology, looking at symbols that have been traumatic to our community. So I think when we think about repairing the harm, there's so many different approaches that we can take.
See, because they always say that, right? They say it's not just financial, but then then we figure out that all we doing is concentrating on everything else but the financial part. Yo, man, I swear, as I look at these Black people on the screen, bro, man, listen. I'm dead serious, bro. I can't do it, man. I cannot, like, if I couldn't be in this studio, I'd be done fucked all this shit off, nigga. Pardon the interruption.
Definitely do know that we have to look at policies like redlining, the lack of educational investments, how difficult we've made it for Black residents to be able to build.
Do y'all notice every single time they talk about something, it's education, education, education. They trying to push that education bullshit as a reparation for fucking us building this shit and you not paying us. You want to give education for that, nigga? That's all y'all talk about. And then when y'all talk about redlining and all this shit where you messed us off on buying homes, now you talk about housing, which is renting. What are you talking about? We want property. We want land. Don't nobody want we don't want no housing vouchers. When we start talking housing, you better start talking houses, homes that we own. See, when you start saying that, then they say, "Oh, hold up, no, we was talking about, housing, like public housing, like Section 8, like, yeah, no, hell no."
Economic wealth, all of those things have to be looked at. And once those things have been unpacked, is how are we going to repair the harm? And some of that work is going to be done through the legislative process. Some of it is going to be done through the financial process. But I think that every city is going to be unique in terms of what the moment is calling for.
And Joe, what do you see when you see some of the efforts, when you are researching some of the efforts happening around the country?
And watch this. It gets to be unique for every city because it's on a state level, family. When it's federal, it's for everybody, no matter what state you in. It's for you, right? It's for everybody. Everybody gets the same thing when it's on the federal level. Excuse me, couldn't get out what I was trying to say. Yes, everybody gets the same thing on the federal level. Once it's federal, then it's a wrap. That's why they were scared when they legalized the marijuana on state levels, because they like, hold on, the federal level is still illegal, which means I don't care what state said it's legal. If the feds really wanted to run down, they could have. But again, we in this society with all these racists with power. So again, they was allowing people to do that with promises that you're not going to run down on my state. Come on, let's be for real. Unless I allow you to run down on a certain person in my state, then you can do that.
Well, it's evident just by what the counselor said that she is right, spot on with regards to how we would have to approach this particular issue. And that's why I made the comment that determining what reparations will be is still something to be decided. And I would encourage anyone to take a look at the National African American Reparation Commission. They have 10 points.
Yo, why are you talking about the African people? Why we don't look at the natives? See, because when you look at the natives, you see exactly what's going on. They getting money, they getting cash. See, because they want to stay away from that. They want to stay away from that bread. They don't want no cash payments coming to us because they know it's not going to be a one-time payment. That's absolutely not happening. They've been getting it for over 100 years, nigga. They've been getting checks or whatever. You crazy as hell. You think we just gonna give us one check? Let me finish this out for y'all. What the hell?
Points. And I think that will be illustrative for us as we go forward. Yes, we will be looking at Evanston, Illinois, what's going on in terms of the legislation for the task force in California. Atlanta has just funded its
funded by who?
Task force, and as you mentioned, Providence.
Who is funded by?
Is going to be in fair play to inform us as to how we proceed. And yes, it's not going to be an easy process. There are those who are going to want to say, "Give me my money." That may not necessarily be what happens, but I think that at the end of the day, it is my task as a chairman is to be like the orchestra conductor to make sure that we follow what the ordinance says. There are 3 phases to what the city council has put forward. Mm-hmm. We intend to follow.
Now, you notice he said there's one in Illinois, California, Atlanta, Boston, right? I think we got one in South Carolina now, but I think that's something Marcel and them did. But yeah, see, watch. This is strategic for them. They're trying to put these up so that they can get in front of it. They can control the narrative. They can pick the people. Do you see what I'm saying? We can start a task force, and that shit don't have to go through them. They just doing that because they want to. And we, family, you do not have to be in politics to start a task force. Let me say that again. You do not have to be in politics to start a task force. These people are creating the task force because they want to. You can still create whatever you want as a group and bring legislation to people. The brother Sam Brown that I had on the channel that from California that was writing them the legislation over there trying to get the 13th Amendment eradicated from the California Constitution. He damn, I forgot what I was about to say. I'm sorry, family. I forgot. I totally forgot. That shit just straight skipped my mind. But let me play the rest of this video real quick. And we're
Follow
gonna end this
that.
off.
We have until December of 2024. There's some time frames, etc., that are in play, and we will follow that.
Let me ask you this question. Private educational institutions like Harvard, Brown, Yale have acknowledged a good portion of their wealth was seeded by the slave
Yes,
trade
and that bread.
and some major banks as well. Are there any lessons that we can learn from their process? Very quickly.
Well, the answer is yes, and that I'm sure that we will be informed specifically about that. That gets to the question of who pays. And so therefore we will be informed when we engage that person who will give us all of that history once we issue the RFP.
Yeah, and I just want to just add that Boston, unlike other cities, we are extremely known for our racial tension.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I believe Boston has a real opportunity to really lean in.
Man, shut up. Y'all over there sucking up to that racial tension, you mother bastard. I hate these people. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I hate these people with a passion. And I definitely hope shit happens to them. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I don't care what y'all say. But for real, man, when people do shit like that, like you're purposely letting us sink in the ground. You're purposely following what they're saying just so that it messes the rest of us up, because you're in a nice little position and you have some bread and you live a nice little life and you have something to pass down to your kids. These people are some of the most selfish, slimiest, grimiest people on the fucking planet. And we have to get these people out the paint. We have to. We have to get them out the paint, because seriously, family, yo, these people is in the way. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you, family. I appreciate all the love and support, man. I love all my subscribers, man. I appreciate all the love, man. If y'all tuning in and hitting that like button and commenting, shout out to all the people that be commenting, cult-like personality, chilling with Monica. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Family, if I didn't mention you, trust me, I appreciate you and love you just as much as everybody else. We up out of here, family. Black Star TV 2.0, man. We out.